Well done, well done to Brian Burkes. Next man we're staying with the Burke clan. I see Noel going through there. That's the man we'd have to have a word with. Shane Burke, how does it feel to have a county medal? Don't mind the hecklers now, don't mind.
It really still hasn't sunk in yet. It's just, I suppose, the relief off our shoulders, just have the game over with. But yeah, it's a good feeling. It's starting to sink in alright.
Was there a level of expectation on you in the sense that when you reached the final, I think it was the first county final in an awful long time in Galway, and we said this in the preview, that people weren't sure who were going to win it. In other words, one guy would say it was Clarinbridge, next guy would Loughrea, but there was an expectancy on you. Was it hard to hurl with the fact that, look, we have a very realistic chance here? Was it pressure on us?
The only pressure that was on us was the pressure coming from ourselves, that we knew we were good enough and capable of winning the match. And I think after the first half, we knew we didn't play well in the first half, but we were still only within a point of them, and that gave us great belief at half time. And it was just a matter of coming out in the second half and pushing on and really opening up and showing how we could hurl,
Now, the way you finished both halves, a lot of focus obviously this evening is on the fact that with 2 minutes left in normal time, you were 3 points down. You got the 3 scores to level the game to finish it at 13 points each, but you also got 3 points before half time that you have referenced there that turned a 4-point game into a 1-point game going in at the break.
Yeah, well, again, it's down to the forwards. We always knew we had the belief just to keep plugging away and keep to our game plan and keep the scoreboard ticking over, and we knew that we'd have the fitness just to push on and get them few scores we needed. Like, in fairness to from leaning all the way up to number 15, we never really panicked. We were always in control to a certain extent, but it was just a matter of getting in 3 scores and believing once we got them 3 scores and levels just to get the point ahead that we push on.
What's it like to play in a county final? To run out there in Kenny Park today, there was a huge crowd. The day thankfully was great. I think the Child of Prague obviously worked for the hurling board. Huge crowd, massive occasion. It must be a super place to be.
It's unbelievable, to be quite honest with you. From when you pick up a hurl when you're a young lad and you're looking at your senior team in your club, that's where you want to be, is to run out into Kenny Park or Pearse Stadium playing a county final. That's what every club hurler aspires to do. It's the final stage where you want to show what you're made of and what you're able to do, and it's unbelievable feeling.
You'll enjoy it?
Oh, that's for sure.
Shane Burke, thanks for talking to us. Good man there. The next man we're going to talk to is Jamie Cannon. We're going to bring him down here, and this is the man that was named the man of the match. How are you doing?
Not too bad, yeah. Good. It's a good day for the village, you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. If you said back in 2001 that we wouldn't be back here until 2010 again or whatever, like, a lot of people wouldn't have believed you, like, you know what I mean? And maybe we should have built on it a little bit more than what we did, but the fact that Portumna came along, probably being the best club.
And how many times did you meet Portumna in that period? Was it 4 or 5 times?
Enough, I don't know. Maybe 5 or 6 times, I'd say, in the quarter-final, and I honestly think if we didn't come across them as often, we'd possibly been in more finals and had more success or whatever. So, you know what I mean? They're a super team, and Loughrea, in fairness to them as well, have been thereabouts for that length of time as well, and they're dogged and they just don't lie down at all, like, you know what I mean? And you've seen that today, so we just came across a good team, and it's a pity that we came across it at the time, but that's the way it is.
I suppose the one thing is for you to looking in, today's game was all about hurling, wasn't it? And we'd say it was, the excitement in the finish was incredible to think that, like, after what was it, 2 hours and 20 minutes, just 3 points separating the two teams.
Yeah, I think our fitness showed out in the end, to be honest. I think Noel Burke has done a super job with us or whatever. We kind of ran them off their feet there in the last 10-15 minutes of the extra time or whatever, and that's not to say that we weren't hurting. There's a lot of lads here tonight that are very stiff and have lots of cramp and stuff like that, but we just seem to be that little bit fitter than them, so that's what paid off in the end.
Listen, how was the mother?
Good, not a water.
I'd say she's fairly happy, and Cannon, for anyone that doesn't know.
She's super. She's as involved in this team as anybody, like, you know what I mean? She's a super club woman or whatever, and she looks after her, she gives us food.
She obviously doesn't give you any razors because I see kind of a stubble look here. Is that the county final look or what?
I don't know what that is, yeah. It's a bit of fluff. I was contemplating going to Tash there for November or whatever, but I didn't quite go, no.
And of course the brother Jared is in Dubai?
Jared's in Dubai, and David E was home there last week as well, and all the boys that are here and all over the world, John Anderson, Kieran Carney, there's numerous people all over the place. Mike Dillon flew out to Dubai yesterday as well. There's just people all over the place that would just give anything, I'd say, to be here, to be honest. So, what can we say?
You've said it all. Well done, Jimmy.
Okay, cheers.
Well done, Jimmy Cannon. A man who his manager made a big play for a possible inclusion in a Galway senior panel earlier on today, and I think we can't disagree with that. Don't know what. They tell me you're the quiet selector, is that true?
Yeah, I think it is true.
And they're agreeing with you, it must be. Tell me, listen, we had a chat earlier on. Tell me about the parallels, the eerie parallels with 2001. Clarinbridge have won 2 county titles. One in 2001, one in 2010. And tell me about the parallels this year.
I don't know, just people were saying over the last couple of hours. We scored 18 points in both finals. One was a 1-0, or 0-1, the other one was 1-0. Both were won on the 21st of a month, in October, November.
The 21st of October in 2001, 21st of November this year.
And Tip won the All-Ireland last time we won the county title. You know, little things like that. But in fairness to that, I think from the Beha match, which we pulled out of the fire, we built a bit of momentum. And I think once we got their team that once they get going and get on a bit of a roller coaster, they're hard enough to knock off it, you know. And they're not just able to hurling, I mean, they're into battle, and it was a battle today.
And you've made a comment that, not alone this year, but they're a very honest bunch. You've always got a great training effort from this panel.
Yeah, they've trained. They actually trained harder last year. To be honest, they trained. We did more physical and tougher training last year. Maybe too much, but this year they've trained every year since 2001. They've always been good to train. They're always there in numbers. They always give their all, and they're always fit. You know, you don't have guys coming in looking to lose a few stone away from the net. They always come in fit. So, you know, their hard work over the last 9 years, even though they met Port Humble 5 times, they still. It has paid off for them, you know, for their perseverance and their love for hurling, and it's prestigious love for hurling, and they love training, and they're a great bunch of lads. So.
The fact that already this evening no one nearly in the room has looked beyond today, in the sense that you were so focused on today, but now the whole horizon opens up. I mean, you're now Galway champions. That will bring you to an All-Ireland semi-final. I know it's very early yet to talk about it, but it opens up a whole host of possibilities, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, we've only ever won it once before. I mean, you know, it's maybe Aston Rise and Starfields have won a lot of them, and probably maybe, I don't know, it's never easy winning championships. Maybe they found it easier, but you just enjoy today for what it is. I mean, it's a bonus. You know, you can have a crack at it in February and see how it goes. At the moment, we just, I mean, they were hurling here for over 118, 120 years, and we've only ever won it twice. So, I mean, you just got to enjoy today, and whatever happens, we'll see in a few weeks' time or after Christmas. So.
And just one thing, we talked about the people away. There's an awful lot of people, of course, probably listen to it now that are very proud Clarinbridge people, but I think there's one particular man in hospital, that's Stephen Ford's father. You want to say hello to him?
Yeah, Johnny rang me and texted me before every match from the playoffs onwards, so our best wishes him there in hospital. I think we're going in the morning with the cup to him, and hopefully we'll have him back out here fairly soon to buy us a few drinks.
Not a bad thing to bring in the Town Canada Cup. Well done, Donald. Well spoken. Alright, we're pushing on. We're near the end of our segment coming in here, and fittingly enough, Micheál Donoghue, the manager, talk about this Beha game. Because every lad I interviewed straight after the game today, this Beha game came up. This game, I mean, your early round of the championship, we've talked about 2 tiers in Galway in the sense, or two championship season almost. But you lost the first 2 games. You beat Clarinbridge Galway, as Damien McGrath said it a bit earlier. Good job you beat them by the margin that you did do. And in the end, you came through on scoring difference after a draw with Beha.
Yeah, it was hugely significant, the Beha game, I suppose. If you go back to the Clarinbridge Galway game, we knew we had to get a result in it to basically stay in the championship. And it was a result basically to keep it out of relegation as well. And we knew if we beat Clarinbridge Galway, we were still in the championship, and it was still in our own hands. And going into the Beha game, we knew obviously we needed a result to stay in the championship. And I think, funnily enough, some of the boys didn't even realise the draw would do was like, you know, the management team had looked at it, and of course we knew, like, and we're really glad we got the draw on it.
It's incredible.
It is, it's remarkable. Like, but I said earlier on, I think if you're to be successful in sport, like, you need a bit of luck, and in fairness, I think the luck turned for us after maybe the Clarinbridge game, and more certainly from the Paddy game, and I think the boys carried it on from there.
How much effort? How many training sessions did you do? Was it late January you started?
I think it was around late January. I don't know, you should have asked about that. 129 sessions. So we're absolutely sick of them now at this stage.
We won't ask are you sick of them. That's an incredible amount of commitment over a period of time, running from January to now the end of November, you could say.
Yeah, it is, but I think the hardest part of it is when the county teams are involved, and you're nearly still training. And you don't know for a win, really, you know what I mean? It's hard to keep it going, but fairness to lads, I think once we qualified after the Behe game, it was sort of, there was a burden off the back, and we knew everything was an even keel again, and we just were ready to give it a good lash. And in fairness to lads, they put in a massive effort, their attitude and commitment and their application to training and everything we've asked of them, they've been exceptional, and they got their just rewards today.
Finally, I'm told that this day 5 weeks of St. Stephen's Day. The day before is Christmas Day, but I think you've got the Christmas present you wanted, haven't you?
Yeah, sure, look, Sean, it's brilliant. Anytime you win, it's fantastic. I suppose, early on in the year, you probably wouldn't have been visitors after the first 2 games, but, if we kept saying to the lads, if you put in the work, you get the just rewards, and if you want something bad enough, you'll get it, and they wanted it bad, and thankfully they got the rewards there.
And what was it like to come back here this evening?
It's great, sure. When you win, the euphoria, it's great for the club, it's great for the parish, great for the youth of the parish, and there was some brilliant scenes, and I think it'll be bigger tomorrow night, so it's fantastic.
Thanks for talking to us. Thanks, Sean. Well done. There you have it, John. Then live from Paddy Burkes in Clarinbridge. Our thanks to Brian Carr for all his help, and we started with X Factor. We're going on with X Factor. Back to you, John.
Thanks very much indeed, Sean, and especially want to thank Mel Canavan as well for all his work, and really I'd say that celebration is going to go on for a couple of days, by the way that they're celebrating at the moment in time. Thanks to everybody indeed in Paddy Burkes as well for their help. Now we move on to yesterday.